I'd like to call the Senate to order. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Barnett. Senator Barrett. Senator Berry. Senator Blackman. Senator Blackwell. Senator Blunt. Senator Boyd. Senator Brumfield. Senator Bryan. Senator Butler. Senator Carter. Senator Chazanall. Senator Chisholm. Senator DeBar. Senator Delano. Senator England. Senator Fillingham. Senator Frazier. Senator Harkins. Senator Hickman. Senator Hill. Senator Hobson. Senator Horn. Senator Jackson. Senator Johnson. Senator Jordan. Senator Kirby.
Here.
Senator Ladner. Senator McCon. Senator McClendon. Senator McMahon. Senator Michelle. Senator Norwood. Senator Parker. Senator Parks. Senator Pope. Senator Rhodes. Senator Robinson. Senator Seymour. Senator Simmons of the 12th. Senator Simmons of the 13th. Senator Sparks. Senator Suber. Senator Tate. Senator Thomas. Senator Thompson. Senator Turner Ford. Senator Whaley. Senator Wiggins. Senator Williams. Senator Younger. Mr. President, a quorum is present.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. The senators and guests in the gallery, please rise for the invocation to be given by Tom Washburn. He is the senior adult pastor at First Baptist Church across the street, which has been very accommodating to us this year and every year, actually. Tom is a guest of Senator Kirby. After the invocation, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance led by Senator Kirby. Tom?
Well, I understand y'all are going to do a lot of commendations today. Let me commend you for the great work you do, and I'll thank the Lord for you now. God, we do thank you so much for this day. Thank you for last days. Thank you for first days. And God, I thank you for the men and women in this room who want to make a difference for our state and for our nation. And Father, I just pray your blessings on each one of them. You know their needs today. And God, we do thank you. We thank you so much for them, and we thank you for their service. And God, I just pray your blessings on each one of them today as they go about their business and the state's business. And we make this prayer in the name of our Savior, whose resurrection we soon celebrate, Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Except spring break. Well, other than spring break.
The CEO's Christmas and Easter.
I saw somebody this week. I didn't even know what.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Washburn. Has a big job at First Baptist Church, and we appreciate you coming as adult pastor to the adult chamber. We'll now go to Senator Blackwell. You're recognized, sir.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move we dispense with the reading of the journal.
Senator Blackwell dispense with the reading of the journal. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Message and petitions, Mr. Clerk.
Mr. President, there are none.
Thank you, Arnold. Committee reports, Senator Blackwell, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move we dispense with the reading of the committee reports.
Committee dispense with the reading of the committee reports. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Next, the reading of the titles of bills and resolutions. I recognize Senator Blackwell.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move we dispense with the reading of the titles of the bills and resolutions.
Senator moves to dispense with the reading of the title of the bills and resolutions. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Now, we'll quickly go to introductions. Senator Rhodes. One moment, Senator Rhodes. Senator Michelle, for what purpose? Senator Michelle,
For an introduction, please.
please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. There's big news in the business world in Mississippi as during this week, Delta Utilities has acquired the natural gas systems of CenterPoint Energy, and it's now providing natural gas across Mississippi through 135,000 meters. They have 150 employees and offices in Pearl, Gulfport, and Oxford. In the South Gallery, I'd like to welcome Mike Jackson and James Richardson with Delta Utilities, and also Kyle Williams and Jim Halford with Bernini Law Firm. Please give them a great Senate welcome.
Thank you for your investment in our state. Okay. Senator Barnett.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ladies and gentlemen of the Senate and those in the gallery, if you would direct your attention to the back of the gallery back here this morning, we have sitting with us this morning a legend in the state of Mississippi. And I will ask that all of my colleagues, if you all would please stand and let's help celebrate the 92nd birthday of our great Senator Jordan and his wife, Miss Christine, whose birthday today is the wonderful age of 91 years old.
Yeah. Thank you, Senator Jordan, and happy birthday. Okay. Before we get started, Senator Rose, I'm trying to get the ones that are in the gallery. Senator Robinson,
Introduction, Mr.
please
President.
proceed.
Please help me make welcome the doctor of the day, Dr. Gloria Graham, who is in family medicine at East Central Mississippi Healthcare from Sebastopol, Mississippi. Thank you for your service, brother.
Thank you, Senator Thompson.
Introduction, Mr. President.
Please proceed. Then we'll get
Thank
to you,
you.
Senator Rhodes.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, joining us this morning in the North and West Gallery are the members of the fourth grade class of Coast Episcopal School out of Long Beach, Mississippi, and their parents. Please help them feel welcome to their Senate.
Welcome. Glad you're here. Okay. All right, Senator Rhodes.
Mr. President, I request floor privileges for the East Rankin Academy boys soccer team.
Seeing no objection, floor privileges are granted. Sergeant at Arms, please show them to the chamber floor.
Mr. President, before we recognize the team, sitting in the South Gallery, we have some of the parents here to watch them today. If they would, please stand. We'd love to welcome you to the Mississippi Senate. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the East Rankin Academy boys soccer team, and we're here today to recognize them with Senate Resolution 135 for winning the MAIS Division II State Championship. Mr. President, will you please have the title read?
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
Resolution number 135, a resolution commending and congratulating the East Rankin Academy Patriots boys soccer team and Coach Reed Westover for winning their first ever MAIS Division II state championship. Now therefore, be it resolved by the Senate of the State of Mississippi that we do hereby commend and congratulate the East Rankin Academy Patriots boys soccer team and Coach Reed Westover for winning their first ever MAIS Division II state championship, and extend to the team, coaches, parents, and sponsors our best wishes for future success. Be it further resolved that this resolution be presented to Coach Reed Westover, forwarded to Head of School Robin Winstead, and to the East Rankin Academy Board of Directors, and be made available to the Capitol Press Corps.
Congratulations to the East Rankin Academy boys soccer team for winning their first ever MAIS Division II state championship. We're here to honor them, but I graduated from East Rankin Academy, so it truly is an honor for me to be able to recognize them in this way. This championship is a testament to the team's hard work, determination, and Patriot pride. And we all know that success like this doesn't come easy or without good leadership. So I'd like to commend Coach Reed Westover for his incredible leadership. And with that, Mr. President, I ask permission for Coach Westover to address the Mississippi Senate.
Coach, you're recognized to address the Senate.
First of all, I'd like to thank Senator Rhodes and the Senate for having us today. It's an incredible honor for us as a team and for our program of East Rankin Academy. It was definitely a up and down year to start, and thankfully we ended on the very top. From the outside looking in, it was definitely a underdog story for everybody else, but for us, we believed in ourselves and we made it happen, took it all the way. So it's just a blessing for me to be here and for our boys, and they deserve all the credit for it. It was an incredible year, and we're looking to, make another run at it next year. I appreciate y'all having us. Thank y'all.
Guys, if y'all would move in a little bit, so y'all can all get in the picture here. You can get like two lines. If somebody wants to get up next to Senator Kirby there. Yeah, y'all can get up towards the front, towards that desk. That'd be good. Everybody get in where they can see you. Make sure she can see you and you can see her.
I'm fine. I'll be right here.
Mom and Dad, it was all worth it, I assume. All those miles you drove. Congratulations. Thank y'all. And make sure you thank your mom and dad. Senator Bryan. Senator Bryan.
Mr. President, we have the Tupelo High School football team, who are the Class 7A champs, with us today. We also have the Tupelo High School girls basketball team, which are the 2024-2025 state champs. And we have the Tupelo High School girls cross-country team, who are the 24 and 25 state champs. If I were more clever, I could make some comment about breakfast of champions or something, but I'm not clever enough to figure out how that works. But I would ask for privileges, Mr. President, for all three of these championship teams and their coaches.
Seeing no objection is granted. Would Sergeant Arms please show all three teams to the floor?
Mr. President, I think there's a resolution that it's customary to read at this point.
There are, Senator, there are three, so, Mr. Clerk,
Senate Resolution Number 28, a resolution commending and congratulating the Tupelo High School Golden Wave football team and head coach Ty Hardin winning its first Mississippi High School Activities Association 7A state championship since 1992. Now therefore, be it resolved by the Senate of the State of Mississippi that we do hereby commend and congratulate the Tupelo High School Golden Wave football team and head coach Ty Hardin for winning its first Mississippi High School Activities Association 7A state championship since 1992, and extend the best wishes of the legislature to the team, coaches, parents, and sponsors for future success. Be it further resolved that this resolution be presented to Coach Ty Hardin for the team and Tupelo Principal Melissa Thomas, forwarded to the Tupelo Municipal School Board of Trustees, and be made available to the Capitol Press Corps.
Mr. President, I'd like to take just a moment to welcome these folks who literally just got here to their state capitol and to their Senate chamber. This magnificent building and this Senate chamber, just look at it. It doesn't belong to us. It belongs to the people of Mississippi. More than 100 years ago, a group of fallible people whose shortcomings we can all point out very clearly now, constructed this building for the purpose of celebrating democracy and a temple to our republic. They built it to last, obviously. In a very real sense, they built it for you and for the people who will come after you. This isn't for those of us who are temporary occupants. So thank you for coming down here, and again, welcome to your state Senate and your state Capitol building. We have with us Coach Ty Hardin, Coach Matt Justice, and Coach Tanisha Boyd. I know that Coach Hardin wishes to address the Senate, and I believe the other coaches may wish to say a word also.
Coach Hardin, and you're recognized to address the Senate.
It's a blessing to be here. Thank you for having us. Obviously, we say this all the time. We live in the greatest state that there is. These guys up here, these guys and girls up here go to the greatest high school in our state, and thank you for all you do. I want to recognize this football team, for only undefeated team in the state this year, and as you obviously you can see, we got a lot of great programs as well. Thank y'all.
Good morning, everyone. I am Coach Tanisha Boyd, and I am the girls' head coach, cross-country coach, along with my other coach, Brianna George. And we want to say that we are elated to be here, to be recognized here with our state representatives. We at Tupelo thrive off education, giving our kids the most resources that they can to survive, to become great citizens of our great state of Mississippi. So We want to say that we appreciate you all for having us here. We will continue to excel and just do great things for the state of Mississippi. So again, we are honored, we are elated to be here, and thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Matt Justice, girls basketball coach at Tupelo High School. I have with me a few seniors and juniors today, back-to-back state champions here in the great state of Mississippi. We just are very grateful and thankful for y'all allowing us to come down and celebrate with you the accomplishments that they had. Again, we thank you for what you do, and we're thankful for our city and for our state. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. If it's appropriate, could we have some pictures made at this time?
Yes, sir. I'd move to my left, Senator. I think most of your children or young men and women are to your left. And if all of y'all would move over and get in the picture with them, this way. Oh, okay. All right, everybody, come on in. Come on in.
If you'll come stand up here, I'll hand you this.
Ty, you need to give us a hand. Coaches up front.
Come on, Ty. Say something.
Thank y'all. Congratulations, y'all. Okay. Thank you, Senator Bryan. Now we'll go to the calendar. Go to the calendar. Senator Kirby.
I thought we had another presentation. Ready?
Okay, Senator Kirby.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to pass and retain item 1, go to item 2, and ask the title be read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
Senate Resolution 152, commend District 44 Senator John A. Polk for distinguished service to State Senate.
I'd like to make a usual motion, Mr. President.
Senator makes the usual motion. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Please proceed, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd ask that the Rules Committee come forward and stand with me on this one, if they would,
Rules Committee,
please.
come forward, please.
So, those that are in the chamber. Okay, thank you, Mr. President. We did make the usual motion, didn't we, Mr. President?
Yes, sir, you do.
Okay. Let me tell y'all, I don't know if they have the photo. Yeah, they do have the photo. I can't say enough about Dr. No. Dr. No, Senator Polk, is a friend to all of us. Every one of us in this chamber has enjoyed working with him, and of course, he'll be back during the special session. But when we did this, we didn't know we were going to have a special session, Senator. But we wanted to make sure, just in case you decide to go on vacation or something or retire early, we wanted to make sure that you were recognized. We appreciate everything that you've done. It's been a true honor for each and every person in this chamber to work with you. You've taught us a lot. We appreciate everything you've done. And Mr. President, if it's okay, I would ask that Senator Polk come forward and maybe make a few comments if he's willing to do so.
Senator Polk, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President.
I don't make these kind of speeches very well. I get emotional. I get emotional especially when I'm looking out at over 50 people that I love. I'm going to go home and I'm going to be a regular old citizen. And that's a good thing to be, especially when I know that there are you, the Senate of Mississippi, who has the best interest of our state at heart. You're methodical, you're wise, you're thoughtful, there's no knee-jerk, we do things right. And I trust each one of you with my future, my children's future, and my grandchildren's future. Thank you for letting me serve with you for 14 years. It's been the best 14 of my life. Thank you.
Mr. President, I would ask that please read the resolution.
Mr. Clerk, please read the resolution.
Senate Resolution Number 152, a resolution to recognize and commend the outstanding leadership of District 44 State Senator John A. Polk for his distinguished service in the Mississippi Senate on the occasion of his retirement. Whereas District 44 State Senator John Allen Polk has announced that he will not be seeking re-election to the Mississippi Senate and will be entering retirement. And whereas since 2012, John Polk has served as a Republican member of the Mississippi State Senate representing District 44, which covers Lamar County. And John Polk, the citizens of District 44 have had effective representation from a dedicated public service with extensive business experience. And whereas John A. Polk was born on March 18, 1949 in Columbia, Mississippi. He was educated at the Prentice High School in Prentice, Mississippi. He graduated from the University of Southern Mississippi in 1974. Senator Polk has been executive at Polk Meat Products, his family's meat business, for many years. Since 2012, he has served as a Republican member of the Mississippi State Senate representing District 44. And whereas Polk is married to Jan Barnett, they have a son, Brian Polk, and daughter, Julie Polk Brazil. And whereas, as a perennial Senate leader, Senator Polk exerted a powerful influence over the organization and efficiency of state government. Senator Polk chaired the Senate Business and Financial Institutions Committee, which oversees the banking industry. Polk was assigned to various committees throughout his tenure. Some of these include the Accountability, Efficiency, and Transparency Committee, Senate Appropriations Committee, Senate Education Committee, Senate Energy Committee, Senate Medicaid Committee, Senate Public Health and Welfare Committee, Senate Universities and College Committee, and Senate Performance Evaluation and Expenditure Review Committee. And whereas in 2015, he proposed a bill for the repeal of annual vehicle inspections, arguing that cars are less dangerous now than when car stickers were introduced. And whereas on March 7, 2025, the governor of the state of Mississippi is authorized by the Mississippi Code of 1972 and attested by Adjutant General Bobby M. Guillen, Jr., awarded the Mississippi Meritorious Civilian Service Medal to Senator John A. Polk, District 44, for outstanding achievement in support of the Mississippi National Guard. This is the highest civilian award that can be bestowed by the Mississippi National Guard. And whereas John Polk's long service has been marked by his commitment to success and recognized leadership, he excelled in a variety of major responsibilities and served the Senate, his constituents, and the state exceptionally well. Senator Polk's public service has been exemplified by sound judgment and fairness, and he set the highest standard in all of his many roles as a father, husband, grandfather, businessman, citizen, statesman, and leader in the Mississippi Pine Belt and in the Mississippi Senate, and as a true friend. Now therefore, be it resolved by the Senate of the state of Mississippi that we do hereby recognize and commend the outstanding leadership of District 44 State Senator John A. Polk for his distinguished service in the Mississippi Senate on the occasion of his retirement, and extend to Senator Polk and his family the best wishes of the Senate for future success. Be it further resolved that this resolution be presented to Senator John A. Polk and made available to the Capitol Press Corps.
Extra copy. I got something else for you later. Thank you, Senator Polk. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, members of the Rules Committee. And by the way, I will say that you guys have done a fantastic job of electing your Rules Committee. They've done a wonderful job this year. And I appreciate each and every one of them. Now, Mr. President, I would like to suspend the rules, go back to and take up items 1, 3, and 4 in block and ask the titles to be read.
Suspend the rules. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it, Senator.
Thank you.
In
Mr.
block 1, 3, and 4. Seeing no objection is granted. Mr. Clerk, please read the titles.
Senate Resolution Number 151, commend Jennifer Stroke, CPO for Mississippi and National Para-Optometric of the Year Award. Senate Resolution Number 153, commend Clark County Chief Deputy Sheriff Barry M. White on occasion of his retirement. Senate Resolution Number 154, commend Honorable Cham Trotter III upon his induction into the 2025 University of Mississippi School of Law Hall of Fame.
Thank you. Use your motion, Mr. President. Thank you. Use your motion, sir.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ladies and gentlemen, as you've seen that all of these are commending resolutions and all very well deserved and honored to honor them today. If there are no questions, Mr. President, I ask for use of morning roll call.
Use of morning roll call has been requested. Anyone object? The court is voting no. Present. Passes by use of the morning roll call. Thank you, Senator Kirby.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Local and private, Senator Parks. Senator Parks. Pass and retain. Motions to reconsider. Senator Bryan. While Senator Bryan is making his way up here, you will note there is a tomato plant on your desk. It needs to be in the ground. And that is a gift from the staff of the Lieutenant Governor's office to each of you. Senator Bryan, you're recognized.
Mr. President, I wish to take up item 13. There may be others that are ahead of me on the calendar.
The first one, Senator, I see is item 7. Would you Okay. Senator Johnson, item 8.
I'd like to have that item, I'd like to call it up and ask its title be read, please.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
Which one?
8.
Senate Bill 2573, Department of Tourism create.
My motion is that we table the motion to reconsider.
Motion to table. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Thank you, Senator. England.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to go to number 9 on today's calendar and have the title read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill 811, Candidate Qualification Revised Process 4.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Mr. President, my motion is to table the motion to reconsider.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Thank you, Senator England. Senator England, number 10.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to skip that item and ask that it retain its place on the calendar.
Item 10 retains its place on the calendar. Senator Boyd.
Ask that we go to item 11 and ask the title be read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill 1193, Public K-12 and Secondary Schools Prohibit DEI Statements and Practices.
My motion is that we table the motion to reconsider.
Motion to table. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. No. The ayes have it. 12. Phillinghane.
Thank you, Mr. President. Let's get the item called up and have the title read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
Senate Bill 2211, Sexual Assault Victims' Right to Men provision related to in order to qualify for federal STOP grant funds.
The motion is that we table the motion to reconsider.
Motion to table the motion to reconsider. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. 13. Senator Bryan.
Mr. President, I ask that the title be read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill number 1062, Dental Hygienists Authorized to Provide Services to Patients under the General Supervision of Dentists under certain conditions.
I move to table the motion to reconsider.
Motion is to table the motion to reconsider. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Thank you, Senator Bryan.
Mr. President, I would like to pass all the other items on the calendar from the Public Health Committee.
Thank you, Senator. We go to conference. In conference, general bills. Senator Hobson. It's already recommitted. In conference, general bills. Brian, you have passed on number 15. Polk, recommitted. Brian, we have advising consent. Senator Bryan, pass. Pass all advising consents at 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Senator Suber.
Call up item 22 and have the title be read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
Senate Nomination 105, Terry Lynn Abbey, Walnut, Mississippi, Board of Trustees of the Mississippi Outdoor Stewardship Trust Fund, appointment effective July 2nd, 2024, for the remainder of term ending June 30th, 2026, Vice Dason Colin Maloney.
Senator.
Yeah, I'm asking Senator Whaley to speak on the bill.
Senator Whaley, you're recognized. Senator Rhodes. Senator Rhodes, you have your light on, sir? Senator Whaley, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate nomination 105 is for Mr. Terry Abbey of Walnut, Mississippi. He's being submitted to the Mississippi Outdoor Stewardship Trust Fund. Came in, met with the committee, went through a pretty rigorous committee meeting yesterday. A lot of questions were asked, a lot of questions were answered. No derogatory information was found on the peer report, and that is an explanation, and I'll yield for any questions if there are any.
Okay. Senators move for advising consent using the morning roll calls. Anyone object to that procedure? Anyone object to the procedure?
I do.
You do, Senator?
I do move we advise and consent by the morning roll call.
Okay, he moves that we advise and consent by the morning roll calls. Anyone object to that procedure? Wish to be recorded as voting no? Seymour, no. Anyone else present? Seeing none, bill passes by use of the morning roll call. Senator Seymour, for what purpose?
Mr. President, I'd like to hold on a motion to reconsider item number 22, Senate nomination number 105.
Motion to reconsider to the chairman. Okay, let's get back on the calendar. I want to ask again to make sure, so obviously we're closing down here on the calendar. Anyone else? Anyone else? Okay, Senator Kirby? One moment, please. Is everybody in, hon? Senator Wiggins, for what purpose?
Parliamentary inquiry.
Please proceed.
My understanding is we're possibly signing dying today. That motion was a motion to reconsider. Does that mean that we have to be back, or is that a killing motion?
The latter.
It's a killing motion. Thank you. Parliamentary inquiry. Does that mean that with it being the last day, that it can be tabled today?
No.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, Senator Kirby.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. You know, I've been to this podium a lot this year, but nothing's more important than the time that I'm here today. And at this time, I'm here because, as all of you know, we have the most wonderful staff of anyone, anywhere. And I think this is the appropriate time for us to thank each and every one of them. And I'm going to call their name, and I'm going to call them out. If you would, I'm going to call them out by different things like I'll call legislative services, committee assistants, and that. And if you would, just hold your applause to each of those. And but I think we can't say enough, and I think all of you know, and I think the world should know, that we wouldn't be ready to leave today without that staff. The staff is unbelievable. I personally, as well as each of you, have already thanked a lot of these people, and we can't thank them enough. So at this time, Mr. President, I would like to thank the staff and call them by name, and if they would each just raise their hand as I call their name. We'll start, Mr. President. We'll start with the Secretary of the Senate's office. Of course, you know our Secretary of the Senate, Amanda White, and what a wonderful job she does. She kept me out of a lot of trouble this year. And in her office is Alicia. So if y'all would give those two a big thank you. Our Sergeant of Arms, Colonel Larry Wagner. Colonel Wagner, wherever you are, thank you so much. We appreciate you. You've protected us well this year, and you've done a wonderful job. Thank you, Colonel Wagner. Our receptionist, Jeanette Lewis. Jeanette, are you here? If so, there you are. Raise your hand. Thank you. You know, she has a beautiful smile, and she gives it to everyone that walks by her desk, and we appreciate that. In the docket room, we've got Linda and Zanetta and Arnold, of course, and Ann Sullivan. So if you would, let's give them a big... In the comptroller's office, we've got Tricia, Donna, and Janet, and I want to say one special thing. They do a great job, but no one can have baked goods any better than Donna. All these baked goods that you guys have been snacking on this year, Donna makes these things, and she's a wonderful baker, and we appreciate that very much. So let's give them a big round of applause. And I would have already passed out and gone away if it hadn't been for Kendra Hawkins in the Pro Tem's office. Kendra is wonderful. She not only helps the Rules Committee, she helps each and every one of you in scheduling a lot of things, but she also works, every day with the other committee assistants helping them. So Kendra, we appreciate you very much for what you've done. Now the other committee assistants, you got Shelby and Terry and Christy and Anita, Becky, Deborah, Pat, and Debbie. And so they do a great job for us as committee assistants. I think all of you know that. I got tickled. I'm sorry. Porters. We got Chris, George, and Terry. Are they here? Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, and then our senior pages, you know, they're during the session, and we appreciate them. They've helped us so much, and they've done a wonderful job for us this year, as good as any we've ever had. Allie, Gage, Anna, and Brickley. Out of the Legislative Budget Office, of course, we got Corbin and Leanne and Ava. I don't know if they're here, but if they are, thank you for what you've done. Thank you. In Legislative Services, these guys and ladies that you depend on so much, Ian, Ethan, Allie, Allison, Ben, Bob, Angie, Katie, Jane, Tommy, and Connie. Let's give them a big hand for what they've done. Okay, and Lieutenant Governor's Office. Of course, we've got our Chief of Staff, Nathan Upchurch, Mariah, Brittany, Hannah, Holly, Tanner, Andrew, and Amanda, and I think all of you have depended on them, and they've done a wonderful job, not just for the Lieutenant Governor, but for all of us. Let's give them a big hand. Okay, in publishing, legislative publishing, Doug and Pete, are you here? If so, we want to tell you thank you. Thank you very much. You guys have been very prompt and very efficient and did a great job, and we do appreciate it. In the IT department, LBO IT department, Carlos, Spencer, Noah, Joe, Brett, Benjamin, David, and John. Let's give them a big hand.
Visitor Services, Brenda, of course, is our curator, along with Ashley and Stephanie. Let's also thank them for what they've done. Gift shop is Rita, Diane, and Sharon. Let's tell them thank you for running a very nice gift shop. Thank you very much, ladies. We got the DFA staff, Al, Purvis, and Mike. Thank you for working with us this year. Let's give them a hand as well. Now, Capitol Police, thank goodness they're here, and they do a wonderful job, and they've helped us more than you can ever imagine. But Mike, Kevin, and Lee, are you guys here? If you are, thank you very much to our Capitol Policemen. And then we have the budget office of some folks there, the budget staff. Well, the directors, Leanne and Stephen, we thank you. In addition, we have Anna, Ava, Charlie, Chris, Emily, Jessica, Max, Rob, Russell, and Tina, and the other staff there as well. Let's thank the LBO for what they've done because they've worked very hard. So, Mr. President, I don't have anything else to say. I would ask that the Senate please stand and thank every one of them in a proper way. Thank you.
Thank each of you. We couldn't do any of the work we're doing without the work you do. So very special, each one of you. Senator Norwood.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to speak to the body. And no, I am not resigning or retiring. I just want to come and really thank you for, this time last year I was going through a crisis, and I didn't know at that time or since then if I was going to make it. But by God's grace and support of you, my 2 kids, my family and friends, I made it. I didn't know what this walk was going to be like. After having been married for 39 years and we dated for 8 years, and now I'm having to walk by myself, except the support of God, which is greater than all, and my friends. But I'd just like to say personally, Lieutenant Governor, I appreciate the love that you shared to Leah. I appreciate her. I mean, there were times we met in space that we didn't even know. I'm going out to eat with my daughter, basically trying to keep me sane. And Leah pops up there with the same place, and she shared with me, and it really meant a lot. I'd like to thank the night before my wife's transition, Senators Simmons and Frazier showed up at the hospital, and somebody had put out a rumor that my wife had transitioned, and they showed up, but the Lord was in the plan, and they were there with me through those trying times. I'd like to thank my Jackson delegation. They called me and they picked up the load for me, because the entire summer I really struggled. I really struggled. And they picked up the load to help me with my constituents.
And I just want to thank you, Frazier, Blunt, Horn, and Michelle. And Senator Butler chimed in where he could, and Lord knows I pray for him. But it was really hard for me, and I really didn't know that I was going to make it, and I didn't know what this session was going to be like. But the Lord saw fit to let me to be here, and I just thank my chairmen. I was not probably there mentally a lot of the time, but physically, I thank you for working with me. And in the end, everything went well. Education, I think I had a good report. IHL, I think in the end I had a good report. And Senator Hobson, I had nothing to do with the budget debacle, so I think I had a good report there. And all my other chairmen, I just appreciate your tolerance of me. And there again, I have 2 children. My daughter is employed at Jackson State, and she's hanging. My son is manager of Regional Bank, and he's hanging, even though his struggles were a little different. But in the end, that's my support. My brothers and sisters, my brothers and sister-in-laws are there with me. But you're my family too, and sometimes we may not agree or even get along, but we still love one another. My new owl mate has been more of an inspiration for me, and my wife really loved the jokes of Senator England. So when we were out, you know, she got a chance to meet him, especially on the coast, and his impersonation was more of a, it resonated with her, and she was more kind, I guess, in sharing to, I won't say kind in sharing, but she was more of a personal person than I am. So a lot of you, she really had a whole lot of respect for and love for. So I won't hold you any longer, but I just wanted to clear the air on a couple of things. Like I say, I am not retiring, and I am not resigning. So they can put that to rest. God forbid. I pray that it happen, and I'm not bashful about it. I wish that Senator Horn would win the mayor's race, but I'm not working with him to get a job in his administration. So, just understand that. So, Mr. President, like I said, I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart. And many of you came to my wife's services, and you know, it just meant so much to me and to my family to see you and to hear you. I saw Senator Michelle, I think, twice, he and his wife, and it just did my heart. So, you know, I see Blunt and all those guys all the time, but it just did my heart so good. It just did me so good. And I love you all, even though we may disagree, but we do it respectfully. And in the end, I think we have more in common than we have in difference. So I pray that we continue to work together and do what we feel is right in our heart and lead the people of our state in the way that the Lord would have us to lead. And so, Mr. President, I'd just like to thank you for indulging me, and I know I'm probably stand between
getting out of here and continuing. So I thank you for giving me the opportunity just to say a few words, and more than a few, but, and I look forward to my continued working with you all here in the State Senate. Thank you very much.
Okay. That was exceptionally well said. Back on the calendar. Anyone else? Anyone else? I did not learn that from Nancy Pelosi. It has been a interesting time. I would say we need to inform the other chamber that we're left, but they're gone. So it's been an interesting time with us here, and I appreciate so much the support everybody has had as we have banded together to support each and every one of us that may have had an issue during the last few months. I think the camaraderie and the sense of purpose that we shared that Senator Norwood was so eloquent in speaking about will do us a tremendous amount of good in the short and the long term. It is the deliberative body. The reason you're here is to make sure this state runs well and we don't step in a hole, and that it's a place your children and your grandchildren want to come and one day sit in your chair. And the work that you did this year will ensure there's a chair here for them to sit in. So with that, we'll go over to Senator, one second, anything else? Senator Blackwell.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate adjourn until 10 a.m. Friday, April the 4th, 2025, at which time the Journal will reflect that the Senate will meet and adjourn until 10 a.m. Saturday, April the 5th, 2025, at which time the Journal will reflect that the Senate will meet and adjourn until 10 a.m. Sunday, April 6, 2025, and recess until 6 p.m., at which time the Journal will reflect that the Senate adjourned. Sine die.
Is that okay, Senator Polk?
That's perfect.
Senator Polk votes yes. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it.